All right, everybody, welcome back. It's Christmas week. This week, I just kind of want to go through a couple things. I'm going to talk a little bit about how my weekly process looks like in terms of, how I line up all my potential trades. I'm also going to talk about how I look at this stuff on a daily basis and figure out whether I'm going to get in and out of options early. And then I'm also going to cover kind of where we're at with December and where we're at into January. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and try and keep this one a little bit shorter today. So let me show you real quick what I'm talking about when I set up a weekly trading plan. My mentor actually created a template that is a lot better than this, but on some weeks like this week where I don't have a lot of cash secured put activity, I just quickly started jotting it down here, thinking that I wouldn't have a lot of activity going on this week, and actually it turned out to be quite a bit amount of things to watch. So just in summary, don't pay much attention to the qualified side. This is just all my IRA stuff, but I do write it down. I just don't track any of that in this video, but the one you see, it's like, 200,000 or whatever. It's these accounts. So that's all my unqualified. So basically I put what my weekly trading plan is, and I go through right now, it's just all covered call positions. You saw that last week and you saw it again this week. And I just go through each of my positions and then I list what target price I'm going for. And usually these are, depends. In some cases, SMR, I might be going for right at my cost basis because it's trading really low right now and I can't really get any covered calls on it. BMNR, I might go a couple dollars over. AMSC, right at my cost basis. PIN, right at my cost basis. VST is a pretty decent stock, so I think this one has the ability to move. So I'm going to go, $7 or $8 above my cost basis on each of these. So I just basically set targets based upon what I'm looking for, how I want to get out of the stock, whether I want to keep the stock and just look for a really good return on the premium, whatever it may be. And then I just jot down some other things that I'm looking to do. And then on the bottom, I just track my cash positions of each one, right? So in my options account, starting the week, I had around $3,400. That's only 2% cash holdings. Not good enough. So basically this week, I'm not going to do a lot of activity in buying anything new when I free up any additional cash. And in the emergency fund, again, I do play around with a little bit of super safe options just to generate some small returns just to beef up that emergency fund, and then move anything above 30,000 over to just our normal checking account that we just spend on random everyday living stuff. And then the leaps, I try to keep $10,000 to $12,000 in there to be able to do 2 to 3 leaps at a time. And when we close that last leap for PSIX, it freed up this much money, and now we're just kind of waiting to see what's next. So basically, this is what I've done, right? So if you can see that I wanted an IREN covered call because I got some stocks assigned to me on Friday. I had a little bit of cash in the emergency savings. I had 12,000, so I went ahead and do a couple more cash secured puts there. I was looking at Serve, and the covered call that I had was basically not even going to come close to getting assigned away. So I looked at closing that, and then I ended up closing it. That's why you see green. So these things I've actually done. And if you see, these are things that I still want to do. And throughout the week, I'll just write additional things as I see things unfolding. But this is a perfect example. I went to get all these covered calls on Monday and had any decent premiums or any decent return for the covered calls. So we just sit and wait. And just hopping over to the charts real quick, you can see on SMR, you can see it's trading way below my cost basis for my qualified and unqualified accounts. So this is just what we call dead money. I'm not going to be able to get any 38s or anything like that, anything close to that for a while. So just waiting to see what happens with this one. And BMNR, another good example. This one was trending up. Now it looks like it's trending down. I mean, basically this one just trends almost right in line with Bitcoin and crypto prices. So they're trading down a little bit. They had a little jump. We had got some covered calls, and when it started trending down, we sold those covered calls. Now we're just waiting for another upward trend. You can see the RSI is either going flat or going down. So just not going to try to get any covered calls on that one right now, and skipping these other ones and jumping down to VST. And on VST, again, this is another stock. You can see it's where my 100 shares cost basis is around 185. So I have a target of 190. And today, if I go look at the trades for around a month out, and we go look at the 190 range, $59. So I'll probably just go ahead and pass on that. So that's basically what I'm doing, and that's kind of just how I manage my week. I'll add things as we go and then take away things as or color code them as they turn red. So here's a good example. SMR is not going to give us anywhere near a covered call for this week. So I'll just go ahead and scratch it out. These other ones I'll watch. AMSC, again, no chance in this one getting close to my cost basis. So this will just be another one that sits this week. And that's kind of how I do each week. And then I'll just add things as I go. So basically now for what I wanted to show you is on a weekly basis. If I go into my Schwab account, this provides a really easy way for me to check out all my options and all my different accounts. So as I talk about each week, when I close things early, this is the best place to come very quickly and see in all my different accounts what I should close early. So here's a good example. CLS is a cash secured put that is expiring on 12/26, which is this coming Friday. Well, what you can see is we originally got a $2,000 premium for that, and it is 86% through that premium, meaning I'm most likely not going to get those shares assigned. So what I could do is I could close this right now, and you hear me talk about buying things back. So you can see the market value for me to buy this back is $290. So basically of this $2,058, subtract 290, that would be my return. So that's what I talk about when I buy back things early. And this is a good example where I would say, no, I don't think CLS will come down to $290 by this Friday. It's currently trading at around $303. And I feel pretty good that this one's just going to go to expiration and I won't get these shares. So I'm going to leave this one. So really the decision point is, do I want to close it right now and just realize the difference between, basically $2,100 and $300 and subtracting $300? Or do I just want to wait till the end of this Friday and collect my full $2,058? So that's how I make quick decisions. That one's kind of easy because it's only a few days away. This one, IREN is again another one. So this is one that I probably will close. So this one is 84% through. I collected $304 in premium, but if I buy it back right now, I got to pay $50. So I'd get roughly $260 and some change back. But IREN is trading around $42, $43. So this expires this Friday, but IREN could certainly go a little bit under this. And I just got a whole bunch of IREN shares. So this one I actually will close, and I'll take you through that process here in a second. Another good one would be Microsoft. This is a covered call that I have, and this one is expiring on the 16th. So this is a really good example. This thing is 84% through its premium. So I would have to buy it back for, basically after the $41 buyback, I'd collect around $200 in premium. And then I own 100 shares of Microsoft, and then I would just wait for Microsoft to turn green, and then I would get another covered call, basically start the whole pattern over again. Or I could wait 3 weeks for this to mature. I don't know that I need to do that. Why would I wait 3 weeks to only gain another 17% to basically make another $41? So since I've opened this is in my rollover IRA account. I don't know, this one doesn't show me exactly when I opened it, but my guess is I opened it about 2 weeks ago, and I'm definitely going to go ahead and close that one as well. But let's just take you through an example of closing this IREN cash secured put. So basically, I drop this down. I'd say, hey, this is in my options trading account. So I'll go all the way up. I did that kind of fast. I don't need you guys seeing all my qualified stuff. I don't cover that in this channel. So I go into my options trading account. I will go find that one. So this is this one, right? And you can see right now, IREN is trading at $43. It could come down. We could have one blip to tomorrow or Friday or whatever it may be. I don't think the market's open on, I don't know if it's open tomorrow, or I'm certainly not open on Christmas, or I don't know about Friday. But either way, this is a pretty good one. So I'm just going to go ahead and close this right now. So I go close positions. I'm going to select the one I want to close. I want to leave these 2 covered calls in place. I will go down, and basically what it's saying, remember, on IREN, it's saying like, hey, you can buy this back for $46. So when you see bid, mid, and ask, if you leave it, it's going to default to the ask, meaning I would pay more than the market is willing to, than the market may give me. So if you go bid, you may not get it. If you go the mid, you'll usually get it. So it's saying, hey, I want to pay only $47 to buy this back. And you can adjust that. You can go down, you can go up, you can go below the bid, whatever it may be. So I'll just go ahead and review and then place order, and that's it. And if you hear that little ding, that means that the order filled. If you didn't hear the ding, then the order didn't fill, and sometimes it'll expire. You won't get what you want for it. So anyway, I just wanted to quickly show you how I managed throughout the week. Just continuously watch that holistic view, and I go close things, and then so now we have basically by closing that. So you'll see if I refresh my screen. And I go in here, you can see there's no longer an iron put. So I basically, since I bought that cash secured put back, now my account has just freed up another $4,500. So remember earlier we said we had around $3,500 in cash in this account available. Now we've just added another $4,500, and we'll just keep adding a little bit more till we get to 10, 15, maybe even 20% of cash, or at least get to one where we can get to a little bit of the better stocks that I like to trade that I'm currently not in, like VST, VRT, or any of the ones that are plus $200. And if we take a look on how we're doing in December with that action that we just did, where we closed that IREN cash secured put a little early. Basically, when I tally up all the realized gains for December thus far, we are at $6,013. So again, our goal was $59.50, and we beat that by, well, currently we're beating that by $63. There could be some more covered calls that are set to expire in January that I go ahead and close early if the market turns down, or at least that stock turns down. So this number could and likely will go up by a couple $100, maybe a little more, maybe a little bit less. But for most part, we hit our goal in December, and that's great. And so far for Q4, we are $165 off. So literally just one closed covered call, or maybe two. And I could go ahead and hit goal for Q4. So again, the numbers are lower as we started tracking realized gains, but that's okay, and that's what we should really be going after, because that's the actual money sitting in that account that I could either use for additional trading or to pull out as income. Whereas the projected premiums, remember, a lot of those got rolled into those assignments with those cash secured puts. So all in all, very happy, hit goal in December. And let's turn to January. I want to show you how I think I'm going to hit goal in January as well. And as a reminder, our goal for January is 63.75. So keep that number in mind as we switch over to the spreadsheet so I can show you what this January is looking like. And in January, what it really comes down to is all these covered calls. So you can see on my expiring, I have 2 on the 9th. We have, looks like, 5 on the 16th, and then 1 on the 23rd. And this doesn't count for any additional covered calls that I may get, although I may start pushing those out to February. But, and I don't expect this to happen, but the way this spreadsheet is built is if this covered call gets assigned away at the target price that I have, then I would make a target profit of this amount on the stock itself, in addition to the original premium that I collected, which is here. So basically 200 plus 59 is $259. So that would be if the premium only was a 2% return. And then if it gets called away, that's 9%. And again, that's 25 days, 11%, and monthly, 135% annualized. So, but just kind of summing up, if all these things get called away in January, if I sum all this up, that is around $4,700 in profit. So that's pretty good. And again, these may not all work out this way, but this also doesn't include, as free up some more cash, which we just did a little bit earlier. Could probably start getting some cash secured puts, and does not include pulling any of these covered calls a little bit left if some of these things get to a point where I close them and these premiums come a little bit further out of February into January. So all in all, I think we're looking pretty good for January, and we'll just kind of see how it plays out and just keep rolling on the options wheel. Cash secured puts, covered calls. Cash secured puts, covered calls. So far it's working, and I'm pretty excited about that. And that's really it for this week. I hope you got some value out of that. Again, if you're enjoying this journey, go ahead and subscribe. Would love to have you along. And if you got any value out of this, a like would be greatly appreciated. It does share these videos a little bit further. Just a little bit more motivation for me to keep making them. And I certainly won't make another video before Christmas, so wish you all Merry Christmas, and I'll probably talk to you again next week one more time before the New Year's. Have a good one.